can watch it from quite a distance. It will come to within about a quarter of the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So that'll be sometime around September 6, 2001. And this does give rise to some of the prophecies that people have been putting out about December 2012. The Hopis are one of several. Indians also have some prophecies in this regard about what's going to happen. And there are other civilizations, too, that do chime in on this. Interestingly enough, the Hopi's prophecy does tie into the Mayan concept of creation, or what's called the Great Cycle. The prophecy has been part of their tribe's oral tradition and has dated back since, well, whatever we know about their time span. This prophecy I'm going to read here from the Hopi was recited by White Feather of the Bear Clan to a Reverend David Young. This is back in 1948. And they had said that the fourth world shall end soon and the fifth world begins. So civilization as we know it has gone up and down before. This will tie in, obviously, with the Georgia Guidestones and people that also believe that civilization will be coming down sometime in the future as we know it. Doesn't mean it's going to end. Okay, this is not a gloom and doom. It's just a, shall we say, a drastic conversion from what we know today. The fourth world shall end soon and the fifth world will begin. The elders everywhere know. The signs over the many years have been fulfilled, and so few are left. The first sign, they said, we are told of the coming of white-skinned men like Pahana, but not living like Pahana men who took the land that was not theirs, and the men who struck their enemies with thunder, for example, guns, the Spanish. The second sign, our lands will see the coming of spinning wheels filled with voices. In his youth, my father saw this prophecy come true with his own eyes, the white men bringing their families in wagons across the prairies. The third sign, a strange beast like a buffalo, but with great long horns, will overrun the land in large numbers. These White Feather saw with his eyes the coming of the white men's cattle. And of course, we brought that whole practice into all civilizations here in this country. The fourth sign, the land will be crossed by snakes of iron. How about trains? The fifth sign, the fifth sign, here we go. The land shall be crisscrossed by a giant spider's web. How about telecommunications, electronics, telephones? The sixth sign, the land shall be crisscrossed with rivers of stone that make pictures in the sun. Highways, perhaps? The seventh sign, you will hear of the sea turning black and many living things dying because of it. The sea turning black, could this be some reference to an oil spill in the Gulf? A lot of things happened underneath to create some problems with the current that would flow through there, and that in turn create problems with weather. The eighth sign, you will see many youth who wear their hair long like my people come and join the tribal nations to learn their ways and wisdom. And the ninth and last sign, you will hear of a dwelling place in the heavens above the earth that shall fall with a great crash. It will appear as a blue star. Very soon after this, the ceremonies of my people will cease. These are the signs that the great destruction is coming. The world shall rock to and fro. The white man will battle against other people in their lands with those who possess the first light of wisdom. There will be many columns of smoke and fire, such as White Feather has seen the white man make in deserts not far from here. Only those which come will cause disease and great dying. Many of my people, understanding the prophecies, shall be safe. Those who stay and live in the places of my people will be safe. And there will be much to rebuild. And soon, very soon afterward, Pahana will return, and we get into the fifth world. Well, some may say this is prophecy, but these were actually built by real people in modern times. And the prophecy, if you will, well, not can be called a prophecy, but the belief of the people that built the Georgia Guidestones is what we're going to be discussing today. Again, let me remind you of the number. We're going to go to a break here shortly and then come back with a video that I actually shot in 2002 of the Georgia Guidestones. That phone number is 314-714-4200. And, of course, the email, patrick@iwatchradio.com, if you want to get in line or send in something that we can go ahead and comment about. This particular structure, massive as it is, was not to be Well, there was more supposedly to it when I went down to talk to the individuals that ran the Elberton Monument Company. We'll have a shot of their museum, too, at the end of the video, just to give you an idea that these people really do know what they're doing with granite, so this would be a logical company to pick up on. I'd like to take a break here and take a couple of minutes here, and then we'll come back and go into the history of these Georgia Guidestones, how it all started, who it started with, the mysterious R.C. Christian, and the kind of disbelief that somebody would actually put something like that up there. But you know what they say about money? It does talk. And if you have the money, you can get something like this built. Thank you very much for your time here on iWatch Radio. My name's Alex Bond. I'm your host with Mysterious America. We certainly do appreciate your comments anytime that you wish to send it in. And we'll be back here in just, I guess 2 or 3 minutes. Is that about right, guys? Okay. All right. Back with Mysterious America, I'm your guide, Alex Bond. And welcome to iWatchRadio.com, where here at Mysterious America we're going to take a look at a number of topics that are not getting a lot of mainstream attention, but do appear to have a great degree of relevance on the future of our whole civilization here. One of the topics that I'm bringing up today is the Georgia Guidestones, located in a town called Elberton, Georgia, which is west or east of Atlanta. You can certainly find it, Google it, and find it pretty quick. Nonetheless, I wrote an article about it in 1998 in a magazine called The Probe. That's where you see the picture here. We will be putting up a video that I shot of the structure as it was completed in 1981. This is not an ancient archaeological structure. This is something relatively recent. And the structure itself, to give you an idea how it all started out, it was in June of 1979. A man walked into the Elberton Granite Company in Elberton, Georgia, and presented the president at the time, a fellow by the name of Joe Fendley, with a pretty incredible proposal. Fenley said, "The man wanted to order a monument. I told him we were wholesalers and didn't handle small individual orders." Well, this was not a small order for sure. As the tale goes, the stranger persisted and explained the plan. Fenley said there never had been a monument that large done in Elberton, and Elberton, of course, is the granite capital of the world. That's how they build themselves. Fenley at first thought the man to be some kind of kook and suggested he contact the president of the Granite City Bank, which was a Wyatt Martin. Wyatt soon called Fenley back with the news that this stranger, who calls himself R.C. Christian, had opened an escrow account in the bank with a very large sum of money in the upper 5-figure range. Get things rolling. Show me serious. Well, the local newspapers admit that R.C. Christian told Martin and Fenley that he was not using his real name. And who the people were behind him, that was also a question mark. There's been a lot of talk about who they were. I know when I went down there, they had kind of settled it was on the Masons. But sometime later, in a special done by Brad Meltzer, he has a show called Decoded, that was changed to the Rosicrucians. So who is it? The Rosicrucians, the Masons? Well, that's another mystery. But it obviously would have to be somebody that had access to a good deal of funds. Putting something like this together is definitely not a cheap or inexpensive proposition. Nonetheless, R.C. is reported to have said, should there be a Holocaust in the civilized world, the group wishes the Guidestones to be one of the most enduring things to help humanity start anew. Well, the meaning of the Georgia Guidestones, there was a great package that I was sent when I did the article about the different inscriptions on them. Keep in mind, it's in 8 different languages, and what we're talking about here with these different languages, we'll go over that in just a moment. Nonetheless, if you can go ahead and put up that video behind me and get that started. There we go. Oh yeah. I tell you what. Yeah, go back to this one stone right here. Actually, let me move. I think I got to go this way, don't I? Okay. This is actually kind of a plaque that marks, I guess I could do it like this, but no, I can't. Okay. Anyway, this is a plaque that is below where the Guidestones are. And as you can see, there's astronomical features to this. It does have a slit. Oh, that's even better. Excellent. Okay. And there's the astronomical aspects of it. The sun beam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year. The horizontal slot indicates annual travel on the sun. And then, of course, you do have the name of the individual, the pseudonym. I think it's supposed to be pseudonym, isn't it? Oh, well. A small group of Americans who seek an age of reason. There's also a capstone to this that has the instructions, let these be the Guidestones to an age of reason, in 4 different ancient languages: Babylonian cuneiform, Sanskrit, Egyptian, and classical Greek. Now that's what's on the very top of the Guidestones. And underneath the Guidestone, this plaque that is mentioned here, you'll see a notation at the very bottom here where it says, time capsule placed 6 feet below this spot to be opened on, and it's basically left blank. Why? Well, we'll get to that in just a moment. But as far as taking a look at the nature of the instructions, they are in different languages. But let's take a look at the, go ahead and roll that video, and we'll take a look at the actual instructions that are on there. I think that'll be pretty interesting when you see what is on there and how it could actually be interpreted. The Guidestones, there we go. Okay, if we go to the very top, maintain humanity under 500,000 in perpetual balance with nature, as you can see that being right there. Okay. Now, or 500 million, I say. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. That's the very first one. If you do your math real quick, you'll find that on this planet we are nearing very close to 7 billion people. If you do the math, that means 6.5 billion of us have got to go somewhere.